Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of What You Need to Know. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about this, the Craftsman V60 Mower. So, let's check it out. Alright guys, so this is another episode of What You Need to Know. If you don't know what that is, we recently started a video series called What You Need to Know, and that's pretty much a video review where we talk about some of the quick specs and mainly key important points that I think you may or may not need to know about a certain tool or something like that. So that's pretty much what it is, but it's pretty much basically a review, but we point out other key aspects. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to it. This is the Craftsman V60 mower. This one in particular is the self-propelled mower. The model number on this is CMCMW270 V60. Man, that's pretty long. But anyways, this is a Craftsman self-propelled mower. And before we get too far into it, let's talk a little bit about Craftsman. So Craftsman wasn't doing too well. I mean, when it first came out, it built a pretty good reputation, but somewhere over the line, it got watered down or whatnot. And now, recently, Stanley Black & Decker Group bought the rights to Craftsman. But for some reason, they allow Craftsman to manufacture some of the tools and then sell it under the Craftsman name and Sears. But the one that Stanley Black & Decker engineers and manufactures is sold at, I think, Lowe's and maybe Ace Hardware. If you're gonna get it, make sure you get the one from the Stanley Black & Decker Group. The tools from Stanley Black & Decker Group are just better than the ones from the Sears Group or whatever. But anyways, this is the one by the Stanley Black & Decker Group. We did buy this mower from Lowe's for about 180 bucks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say this is the best mower that you can get for $180. Bam, period. All right. So now is a good time to mention this video is not sponsored by Stanley Black & Decker, Craftsman, Lowe's, whatever. It's not sponsored by anyone. We picked this up and with our own monies and we've used it. So anyways, let's get some into details. It's got a 21-inch deck. The deck is pretty much all metal. It's good. It's not plastic anywhere. But because it has a 21-inch deck, it does not mean it actually cuts 21 inches. Most of you guys know that. It cuts just a hair shy of 21 inches. It's got a 3-in-1 deck. It mulches, it's side discharge, and it bags. As most of you guys know, with battery powered mowers, I don't recommend mulching unless you're just always cutting maybe like 2 times a week or something like that, mainly because it does take a lot of power and speed to get those things grounded up really well to mulch it out. On this one, it does work a lot better than most of the mulching mowers that we've seen, battery powered mulching mowers, because it is very powerful and the deck seems to be a little bit higher where it can get a lot of that mulching action in. Anyways, I don't recommend doing it, but if you want, you can. It does have a side discharge. It comes with the side discharge chute, which is my preference, just preferential. It also comes with the bag. The bag goes in just like so, and it bags pretty well. With a battery powered mower, I would definitely recommend either bagging or side discharge. Anyways, in this mower kit, you get pretty much the mower. You get the battery, and this is a 7.5 amp hour battery. This thing is a beast. There's roughly about 45 cells in here. There's 3 sets of 15 cells in series. 15 cells in series, and there's 3 sets of them, and that's how you get the 7.5, because the cells are 2.5 amp hours. So this is a 3P. I'm not going to put it all the way in. Actually, I will just for you guys. That's how you get it in, and it does have a spring-loaded eject. It doesn't come all the way out, but it does assist. What? See? You do get the charger, and the charger is my least favorite thing about this, because it does have a little transformer and a little thing that goes on top of the battery. Maybe because they felt like the battery's so big, maybe weird to bring in a big charger plug in. Anyways, with this charger that you get, it takes roughly around 1.8 to 1.9 hours to charge from 0 to 100. If you do want to get maximum life out of this battery, don't charge to 100 all the time. But hey, most people probably can't do that, so it's mainly going to be fine. Anyways, it's self-propelled. The speed obviously is variable. This lever right here engages the blade, and this lever right here engages the self-propelled function, the lever on the back. All right, you can change the self-propelled speed before or after or while it's engaged. So that's good. Also has a little key here. Anyways, the good thing about this mower, like I said, besides its very, very low price that you can pick it up from, is that it's very powerful. It runs on a 60-volt platform. The Craftsman V60 stuff, they need to have the string trimmer, blower, hedger, chainsaw, and that's maybe I think that's it. But anyways, they have a few tools and it's very powerful. I think it's probably one of the most powerful mowers that I've seen, or mowers that I've seen and or used. But I do also think it's one of the best ones on the market. I already mentioned that. But anyways, this mower is actually very interesting because it does share a lot of heritage with the DeWalt mower, the DeWalt 20 volt mower, or even the 40 volt mower. But we're going to talk about the 20 volt mower. All right, so the DeWalt 20 volt mower takes two 20 volt max batteries and puts them in series and does 40 volts. And I thought that mower was pretty good, mainly because it's on a tool platform and it does seem to be a lot more powerful than the other mowers that I've used, which are the Cobalt 40 volt and the Greenworks. I think it's the Greenworks Pro. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, the DeWalt mower was pretty good and it had a lot of DeWalt batteries, so it worked fine. I know a lot of people don't like it because they say, oh, when you buy it as a kit, it comes with 2 5-amp-hour batteries and a single charger. Yeah, I think that was maybe a mistake on DeWalt's part on how they're putting the kit together. But anyways, it seemed to be relatively powerful. I use it with 2 9-amp-hour flexible batteries and that could run a long time, powerful, etc., etc. But with the DeWalt mower, it does have a bagging and it has a mulching function, but it does not have a self-discharge, and that I think was a mistake, mainly because it is a battery-powered motor, and in order to get mulching done, like I said, you need higher deck height and you need a very strong motor with a high speed. With the DeWalt, it was fine, but because it is a battery-powered motor, if you're cutting big tall grass or weeds or whatever, it takes a lot of power to do that. So on electric mowers, I would definitely recommend, like I said, self-discharge or bagging. So if the DeWalt mower had that, may or may not have been good. Anyways, this mower is a little bit bigger. I'll throw out some pictures than a DeWalt mower. It does work really well, meaning the battery works really well, and you can actually use either 2.5 or the 5 or the 7.5 amp hour battery in this mower and it'll work fine. With a note with the 2.5 and 5s though, if you're using a lower amp hour battery in this self-propelled mower, I would use it without the self-propelled function, meaning use it without this back lever engaged, mainly because those batteries are either 1P or 2Ps. It cannot necessarily push as much power or current out without heating up the batteries a lot, meaning you'll get a lot less runtime, the batteries will get really hot, and it's just not good for the battery. So if you do have to use it, I wouldn't use it, but if you do, it will work, but I would use it without the self-propelled function. This self-propelled function actually is really fast. I'm not sure how it's gonna come out on camera, but let's see if I can show you real quick. Let's put it on low. This is speed 1. And on this mower, you can engage the self-propel function without engaging the blades. So that's a good thing. I'll take this out of here for now. It's on low. That's low. Put it on high. Whoa, see, that's pretty fast. One of the things I will say about the high speed is it feels like if you're using behind the mower, you're going to be power walking for a lot. And it was a little bit of a struggle or a learning curve just to keep up with it if you're using it on highest speed. But anyways, like I said, you can adjust it. A quick interesting thing about this mower is it does take about a second or maybe 2 seconds for the gear to disengage from the self-propel function, meaning as if you let it go immediately and pull it back, or if you let it go and immediately pull it back, the gear is still engaging. It will drag like so. See? It's dragging. So what you do need to do in that case, you can always push it up a little bit and then pull it back and it is disengaged. But just make sure you notice that when you're using it, because if you're right up on something, you may not have that space. You could just pick it up and move it back too. Anyways, watch. If you let it roll for a little bit, it rolls perfectly fine back. Do it again, but I'll let the gear not disengage. Right? So that's just a quick thing to note. The other quick thing to note is the inside of this mower. I'll see if I can throw some pictures of it, but it's not perfectly circular. Meaning on most mowers, at least most of the mowers that I've seen, or electric powered mowers, when you pull this up in order to do mulching, there's a little piece of plastic you do have to stick in here in order to make the inside pretty circular. On this mower, this part right here sticks out and then kind of helps cover that function up, or helps the mulching function, but it does not make a perfect circle on the inside. So that's interesting to know. I'm not sure why they did that, but I kind of like it mainly because I don't have to worry about a little piece of plastic that you may or may not lose. But anyways, that's an interesting thing you may need to know about that. Other thing is this mower comes in two varieties. This one right here is the self-propelled mower, but you can also get the push mower, and it's exactly the same mower, all right? Except 3 key differences. Number 1, color scheme. See these wheels here? They're gray. See this pole here? It's gray. See this battery here? It also has gray inlays or accents or whatever you want to call it. On the push mower, actually this bag is gray too, but on the push mower, the wheels, the bag is black. Some of the stuff up here is also black, but you also get a 5 amp hour battery and not the 7.5 amp hour battery. So that mower is, I think you can get it for about 140, 160 bucks. This mower you can get for 180 to 200 bucks. If I were you, I would get the self-propelled mower. Let me tell you why. So it is, let's just say if you get it for 160 versus 200, it is about $40 more expensive, but that $40 will serve you very well. Meaning, you can use this mower with only you can use the self-propelled mower without using or engaging the self-propelled function. Meaning it'll be the same thing as the push mower. Maybe a hair heavier, but that's like a hair. All right, don't worry about that one too much. But the other good thing is you get the 7.5 amp hour battery. And I do think that the 7.5 amp hour battery gives it a little bit more power, just a hair more power, if you're not using the self-propelled function. Also, if you have a hill or you may move, who knows, you may even come into a point where you may need the self-propelled function one day. And for 40 bucks to get the self-propelled function, that's not exactly cheap, but that's pretty much worth it. But the other main reason is you get the 7.5 amp hour battery. All right, this 7.5 amp hour battery is a beast. Like I said, it has one extra set of 15 cells and a 5 amp hour battery. But because of the 7.5 amp hour battery, depending on your usage, you'll definitely probably end up charging it less than the 5 amp hour battery, and it'll stay cooler if you use it without the self-propelled function. Meaning, if you only use half of the battery, you'll charge it maybe 2 times less than the 5 amp hour battery. But anyways, it'll give you more life, it'll run cooler, and it's just good to have a beast of a battery, man, if you need to use it for, I don't know, chainsaw, blower, whatever. So you'll charge it less, you'll heat it up less, it's just better that way. Now is a good time to talk this. Everything is covered by a 4-year warranty, meaning the battery and the tool is covered by a 4-year warranty. So that's very good. Like I said, this is a great mower. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this or whatnot, but there's 2 knobs, and like most electric mowers, you can stand it up straight. You engage these 2 knobs, do like so, and you can store it like this. All right, and that's also very convenient. I'll throw out some pictures, like I said, of the similarities between these two, but it seems like what they did, or Stanley Black & Decker did, was they took all the mistakes they did, or the upgrades they could have made with the DeWalt mower, and put it into this mower. So, like I said, this mower is probably one of the best ones you can get. If I were you, and you're watching this video at a time where the mower is still on clearance, which last time I checked it was, because I checked yesterday at a Lowe's, and it was there. It was there, all right? So, like I said, if you could pick this up, definitely pick it up. It will be a great deal. It's a great mower, lasts you at least 4 years. If you amortize it or whatever, it's probably about 50 bucks a year, and that's pretty good. Most people, I think, pay at least 50 bucks for someone to even cut their lawn. So anyways, per month. So, good mower, pick it up. Hope this video's helped you guys out. Like I said, no one's sponsoring this video. This is my opinion, and we'll see you guys next time.